channel after news channel after news channel. Ever wonder why they report the same news? This is Wake Up America.
Brought to you by Citizen Stringer.
The media has become absolute lunacy. What makes us different? We just tell the truth. Daily headlines, politics, social issues, focusing on headlines that the mainstream media ignores. Conservative to the core and honest, sometimes to a fault. Unapologetically American. Welcome to Wake Up America with your host, Stephen Oatley.
You know when you reach that part of the day when you're like, fuck it, I'm done? Kind of like what Joe Biden did yesterday, where he's like, no, whatever he said. He said, like, I'm done. I'm out of here. That's where I'm at. That's why I'm not live at 8 o'clock like I said I was going to be, because I am very fucking tired. I'm tired. I've been printing these bad boys all day. Check them out. Look nice, right? The Scooter Steve mugs. I've been printing those all day. And to be honest, it took me a long time to get the actual heat to be able to, like, the correct heat. And so I kept burning them, or it wouldn't stick enough. And oh God, it's so weird, but yet I thoroughly enjoy making the mugs. I'm actually going to make something on the Pure Truth Coffee website where you can upload your own design and have it sent to you for a $15 mug or something like that, where you can upload your design, based on, whatever, and then I'll ship the mug to you. And I could kick the shit out of all the prices online because, well, I'm the one that prints them. So it's kind of cool. But that's another thing, just another thing to try to drum it up. But I really enjoyed I saw someone said enjoy. So I was like, I really or I saw someone said howdy. So I read them together. But yeah, it's cool. I like doing it. I actually was talking to someone today, a realtor, and I was like, bro, you should get some mugs. I'll print them for you. Cheap. I gave him a family discount because he's family. But yeah, so what else is new? What's new with you guys, man? Huh? You doing good on this Friday? At least the Dow ended at 360 points up, which is weird because I didn't think it was going to happen. But yeah, the Dow ended 360 points up. It's like overcast and cloudy here, so my knees, you'll see me do this a lot. I'm just achy. You know what I mean? I'm getting old. That's the real thing, is I'm just getting old. I've taken the past 10 days off, 11 days off from the gym. And I will not be going back until Monday because I am fairly certain I tore my rotator cuff again a couple of weeks ago, and then I just kept working out with it, and I was having a lot of pain. And then, so I just gave myself 2 weeks that's why I'm looking like thin, right? I think, like, if I don't go to the gym, I'm like, man, I get this complex where I look thin. I mean, keep in mind that this thing is like 3 feet wide. So I'm still a very big guy, but I don't know. I just feel small. That's how it works when you don't get to work out all the time, or when you cognitively make a choice. So I'll be honest, I haven't really paid attention to the news, man. I've been doing all sorts of stuff on puretruthcoffee.com. You guys may or may not have seen, there's a book now and it's not the book, okay? It's not the book that I said was coming for a long time, but if everyone goes over to Amazon, and because I don't have the link handy, if everyone goes to Amazon and look up, what did I title the book? Damn it, I forgot. Inside the Mind of Joseph Biden. Yes, there's a book on Amazon, $15.99, and it's authored by me. And it's the pages are as empty as Joe Biden's promises. Like, it's a novelty book. But yeah, you can get it on Amazon. It's pretty cool. I can't believe they actually approved it. I was really surprised. I didn't think they were going to. But yeah, it's there, and people can buy it as like a novelty or something like that. I bought a bunch of them, so I'll be giving them away and doing giveaways and signing them. But there's a special message. Like, anyone who calls themselves the Yeeter, you better go to that link that April just put in the chat and buy it, because there's a special dedication to Yeeters inside that book. On the very first, it says dedicated, So if you want a special Yeeter dedication. You should go buy that book on Amazon. Let's make it a #1 bestseller. Can you imagine that if a book with empty pages became a bestseller? It would be so freaking awesome. But April and Adam both knew I was going to do it because I submitted it a couple of days ago, and I'm like, there's no way they're going to approve it. And but yeah, they did. They approved it, and now it's there. And I know people have bought it already because I got a couple of the receipts. And hell, I bought one, and then I went to the author page and bought a bunch more at cost. But I bought one at the $15.99 with my wife's account because I'm like, this is dope. Like, this is cool as shit. So, but yeah, how the hell did you pull it off? I don't know. I'm skilled, I guess. But yeah, I've published a book called Inside the Mind of Joe Biden. It's available on Amazon right now. Go buy it, $15.99. It's a 6.5 by 9-inch book, so it's pretty good. And it's got 250 empty pages in it. It's got a dedication to all the eaters in the beginning, and then it's got a couple of other fancy things, funny things throughout it. But yeah, I like it. Some Nanner said she's gonna give one to a couple of friends. Everybody should. We should just give them out. Like, we should just go buy a shit ton of them and just give them out to random people and be like, hey, have you read my book? And, it's a tell-all about Joe Biden and his way of thinking. And you open it up and it's empty. And then they'll be like, what the hell? Oh, yeah, that's Joe Biden. He doesn't think about anything. His brain's empty all the time. But someone said I'll post it on my sales page for you. Yeah, go for it. 250 pages of just nothing. My wife is like, that's such a crazy yet really good idea. Yeah, my next one's going to be, I'm not even telling you so no one steals my idea. The next one's going to be even better because what I may do is on every single page, just write a word, like a descriptor and say every word, like I was thinking about doing Nancy Pelosi described in 250 pages and every word is just like shithead, or just something funny. But yeah, you can get it. April is doing a good job slapping it in the chat there. Inside the Mind of Joseph Biden, and it's written by me. So you could look up my name, I think, or you could look up the title and find it. And I think if I get 100 sales in one day, then I will actually become an Amazon bestseller. Like, I think that's how it works too. So can you imagine how fucking rad would that be? How rad would that be? So everyone should go buy the book, Just like seriously, just go do it. But yeah, someone said only one quote in the entire book. What? That's the only quote. Anyway, some news. I think in Kentucky, I think they've updated it now. Two officers dead, 5 others injured, and a police canine was killed in a domestic disturbance turned emergency protective order turned violent shootout turned barricaded situation turned active shooter scenario in Kentucky last night. They do have the suspect in custody as well, so that's pretty good. 9 people were, and many of you guys may have heard this. That's why I'm just running over it real quick because I did a morning headline thing that I put out this morning. 9 people were shot in a mass shooting in Newark, New Jersey yesterday, which in all reality that's not that strange. Normally it's 9 people are shot in a single night there, just not in one shooting. But yeah, 9 people were shot in Newark, New Jersey. All are expected to survive, which is good. And I believe this has been a deadly week to be a police officer. I think a Chicago police officer was shot today, unknown what the status is of that officer. I didn't really see, I saw it on Twitter real quick, and then I tried to look for it later, but I forgot. And because it's hard, But like I said, I'm prioritizing coffee. So like I packaged all the coffee I could until I ran out of bags today. I've got more. Amazon delivered them to my house, and now I have to go there. And I'm not doing it tonight, but I'm going to go home and just be a bum for the rest of the night. And then tomorrow I'm going to be in here packaging and shipping all the rest of the coffee orders. And then I have to print the shirts for the Patriot boxes that go with the Scooter Steve mugs, right? And then those ones are going to go out as well, likely for Monday. Because people asked several times, we do have a decaf coffee. It's on pre-order right now. I need to essentially sell 50 pounds of it. But you can go to puretruthcoffee.com, click on coffee, and scroll down to the bottom, and you will see we have, I think, 2 or 3 different blends that we added today. We've got the Donut Shop, which is like, a classic donut shop medium roast coffee. It's very good. And then we've got Sleepy Joe, decaffeinated coffee for those. Except unlike Joe Biden, the coffee's actually good. You know what I mean? It's just decaf. So they use what's called a Swiss water method, which decaffeinates the coffee while leaving all the flavor in there. It's very, very crafty. So you can find that coffee. That is limited edition, though. I will probably only do one run because I don't like decaf, but people have been asking for it. So I figured, okay, I will make it. But that's out there now, so you can order it. And again, that and the donut shop will both, because they're new roasts. So when they do the new roast, it takes them a little bit longer to get it. So we're looking at a 15-day turnaround. So I put a conservative estimate for ship dates for that on July 21st. Likely it'll be just before that, but I ordered 50 pounds of each. So get your orders in. Like I said, the Sleepy Joe decaffeinated is it's a good coffee. I mean, people can drink it and then just keep the bag because the bag is dope too. But yeah, and that's on puretruthcoffee.com. And I've been working on a bunch of stuff, with that website as well. There's a bunch of new products that you can't really find on there because all new mugs are going to be on there, all new shirts and apparel, all higher quality stuff because we're taking Pure Truth mainstream. So it's going to be interesting. And as I mentioned last night, I won't talk about it too terribly much, but we are also launching our Firehouse coffee program where we're going to provide free coffee to every fire station, every full-time staffed fire station in the Northern Virginia area, as it permits. Like I put forward 100 pounds, and I think we've probably sold another 30 or 40 pounds since I announced last night. And then we're going to be giving those away to the fire departments every month, and for no cost, right to the stations. And if you go to that, you'll see it. If you click on the coffee tab, you'll see now it says Firehouse Program. If you go to that, you can also donate a bag of coffee. It's cheaper. You can't buy it for yourself. It's a special blend just for them. It's actually repackaged. It's the Awake Not Woke, and it's just repackaged. But you can't order that. That's only for the fire service because the labels say not for resale. And then, yeah. So I'm doing a lot. I'm doing everything that I can. What would you guys think? How many of you guys go to justcbd.com and use code CITIZEN when you order your CBD goodies? Because I was thinking about doing a Colombian roast that's infused with CBD. Because I can do that. But I don't know if people want to do it. I don't know if people would buy it. And because we have such high minimums with the new roaster that we're working with, I don't know if it's worth it. So I don't know. Something to think about, because I can do it. And to be honest, I can do it with any roast. I could do it with any of the roasts that we want. I could do like the Flying High when we do the new formulation of that in the next couple of months. I could make Flying High, which is super high caffeine. I could make that a CBD one as well. So everyone's going to be really hyper, but super calm. You know what I mean? So that'd be kind of interesting. But yeah, it's going to be crazy. A lot of you guys are saying you'd buy it. So maybe. I mean, I'm kind of out of money. Because I put up all the money to buy all these extra blends and stuff. So if that's something, maybe we'll shoot for the end of the summer for the CBD infused coffee. But yeah, someone said not in the market for coffee or CBD or body armor. I come for commentary, which seems to be missing. Martha, Martha, let me ask you a question, Martha. Do you understand the definition of commentary?
Martha!
Do you understand? You know what commentary is? It's literally the fucking shit that's coming out of my mouth. I hate when people are like, I'm not going to buy body armor. I'm not going to buy CBD. I'm not going to buy your coffee. I'm not going to do anything, but I'm going to criticize how you do your show. Fuck off. There you go. You're welcome. Martha. Or wait, that's Marsha, but whatever. Today is a show that I'm just talking. Like I already talked about some news. If you guys got something you want me to talk about, type it in the chat, Martha. Like if you have something you want to hear my opinion on, type it in the chat. I'm interacting with the chat. And just like Abdul said, unfortunately, this is my job Believe it or not, this is what I do for a living and what other people that work with us do for a living. So we need to make money. We need to sell the coffee. We need to sell shirts and hats and Patriot boxes. We have no choice. Otherwise, we can't do it. Yeah, does that make sense? So I know a lot of people may not like it, but unfortunately, that's it. Martha said, "You the man, Steve. You know how to insult your audience." You're welcome. You're damn straight I know how to insult my audience. Because to be honest, Martha, you're probably not my audience. I don't recognize your name, but I can only assume that you're probably some leftist moron that's coming in the chat just trying to start shit. And if you're not a leftist moron coming in the chat to try to stop shit or start shit, please don't act like one, because that's exactly what you're doing now. Got her again. Fucking A. Someone said, "I'm not sure what state it was, but there was a black male that got shot by 40 police officers." What? Is that the thing that's been going on in Ohio? I don't know what, but I've seen some stuff where I haven't paid, like, again, for the past 2 days, I've been kind of out of it with the news. But there was apparently something going on in Ohio where a lot of people are anticipating that shit's going to get a little freaky out there. And I don't know. I haven't heard anything about someone getting shot a lot. Someone said, Martha said free speech. Again, I knew you were a leftist. Again. And not because you think, you're free speech, blah, blah, blah. Don't troll my chat. April, why don't you go over to Facebook and find Martha and just put her in a timeout or something? Because apparently her parents did a shitty job fucking raising her. This is not the day. This is not the day. I haven't gone to the gym in 11 days. And somehow Martha thinks it's a good idea to start talking shit. Someone said it's going to get spicy in Ohio. Yeah. Someone said it was the APD who shot the guy. Was that Akron? Is that where it is? Akron? Okay. Yeah, that's what it is. So the city of Akron released a statement on officer involved. All right. Akron Mayor and Police Chief Steve Mayette, he's the mayor and police chief, released the following statement Wednesday regarding the officer involved shooting of Jayland Walker that happened in the early hours of June 27th, saying that we know that no police officer ever wants to discharge their service weapon in the line of duty, and anytime they must, it's a dark day for our city, for the families of those involved, as well as the officers. Tragically, we are once again faced with a young man with his life before him gone too soon. Every single life is precious, and the loss of life is absolutely devastating to our entire community. Our prayers are with Jayland Walker's loved ones, and we offer our sincere condolences to all that knew him. Our thoughts are also with the Akron police officers and their families. We want to reassure our citizens that more information will be coming in the following days, including the body-worn camera footage that recorded this incident. We are keeping our promise to the community, understanding that there can be no trust without transparency and follow-through and commitment. We have every confidence in the Attorney General's Bureau of Criminal Investigation to conduct a thorough, fair, honest investigation, and they will cooperate fully, blah, blah, blah. So it said the officers involved in the fatal shooting have been placed on administrative leave. It said, according to Akron Police Captain David Laughlin, whatever, around 12:30 a.m. Monday morning, officers attempted to pull over a driver for a traffic violation at Thayer and Talmadge Avenue. Captain Laughlin said the driver refused to stop and a chase began. The suspect entered Route 8 southbound, and during the pursuit, officers said a gun was discharged from the suspect's vehicle. At the intersection of South Wilbeth Road and Claremont Street, officers said the suspect vehicle slowed down and the suspect fled from the vehicle on foot. According to police, officers began a foot pursuit as the suspect ran into a nearby parking lot. The captain said actions by the suspect caused the officers to perceive he posed a deadly threat to them. Officers then discharged their firearms, striking the suspect. The suspect was pronounced dead at the scene. So this kid was shot that many times? Hold on. So Akron Mayor Dan Horrigan and Police Chief Steve Mayette held a press conference today, blah, blah, blah. Earlier Friday, Austin Love witnessed trucks being used to block some streets downtown, but later reported the truck was moved to allow traffic to pass around 8:30 a.m. I saw a photo of that as well. In response to the situation, Akron Mayor has announced the city's Rib, White, and Blue Festival has been canceled for the entire July 4th holiday out of an abundance of caution. It also means no holiday weekend activities will be held downtown at Lock 3. Mayor Horrigan's office said all vendors and musical acts will be compensated accordingly. The city encourages residents and guests to find other opportunities for their weekend plans. The community fireworks scheduled at Patterson Park near the former Rubber Bowl will still go on. All right, so here it is. It takes a long time to find it. All right, so 8 Akron police officers fired 90-plus shots during confrontation with fleeing motorists. Autopsy records confirm that an unarmed Akron man was struck dozens of times. Wait, so was he armed or on it? They didn't find a gun near him or on him? What? What? The volume of gunfire and extensive rounds have caused police and city officials to prepare for potential backlash. The response is expected only to intensify when Akron police release body camera footage in the coming days. Use of force cases are always ugly. This case is ugly times 10. A police official familiar with the shooting told 3 News Investigates. The official is not authorized to speak publicly. Using public records law that provides access to autopsy documents, 3N News Investigate views photos of Jalen Walker's bullet-ridden body along with dozens of bullet fragments removed during the autopsy. The final autopsy report has yet to be put in writing. Summit County Medical Examiner Dr. Lisa Kohler said the report is expected to be released this week. His death has been ruled a homicide. Now, again, homicide means that you died at the hands of another. It doesn't mean that there was a crime committed, just so there's clarity in that. However, the photos provided Wednesday confirm that police sources had previously told 3 News Investigates 8 officers fired more than 90 shots, causing more than 60 wounds to Walker's body. There's no fucking way they don't riot over this. I'll be honest. Wait. So some wounds were depicted in his back, but it's unclear if the marks are entrances or exits. Akron police say they attempted to stop Walker's car just after midnight for a traffic infraction and equipment issue. Walker instead led the officers in a high-speed chase down East Town Madge Avenue towards State Route 8. At some point, he fired a gun. Was he the only one in the car? These news articles do a shitty job in actually saying what's up. At some point, they say he fired a gun. Sources tell 3 News Investigates that one casing was found in Walker's car and a second was found in the roadway near Route 8. During the 4.5-minute chase, Walker eventually jumped out of the car on Wilbeth Road near the Bridgestone Tire offices. Police say they first deployed their tasers, but ultimately opened fire after they said Walker made motions that caused them to fear bodily harm. 8 officers unleashed a hail of gunfire that was captured on body cameras worn by the officers. Sources say some of the last shots were fired while his body was on the pavement. Walker was on the ground dead when medical help arrived. Autopsy reports show he was handcuffed after the shooting. He was not armed at the time he was shot, sources say. A gun, however, was recovered in Walker's car. The same sources confirmed. It's unclear why he fled. He has no past criminal record aside from speeding. Videos are expected to be released in the coming days. Have they released the body camera footage, April? Because today is Friday. All these articles are like midweek. Man, I've been living under a rock. I didn't even know this happened. But here's the thing. Like, you have to... I don't even know, man. I don't even know. Police, like... okay, so I'll say it. I'll be honest with you right now, right here, right? All right, I'm going to talk in a deep voice. No, I'm not doing that. But I'll be honest with you. If he didn't have a gun on him, those officers are going to be charged. And almost rightfully so. Do you know what I mean? Like, running from an officer is a crime, but it's not a crime that leads you to death. If you have a gun and you're running from an officer, then I can understand that. Or you're resisting arrest, but technically he was running away. He wasn't fighting with the officers. He didn't pose a serious threat to them. So I'm kind of curious. I'm kind of curious about this one because this is the one that I may be like, oh shit, because does that make sense? Like it is a crime to run from someone. Okay. I'm not saying that if you get caught by police doing something illegal, get out and run and the cops shouldn't be able to pursue you. That's not what I'm saying. But someone can't turn or make a suggestive movement and not have a weapon visible. I believe they train officers not to shoot until there's a weapon visible. I don't know. Someone said it does say he shot his gun from within the car. Yes. I don't know. But you know what I mean? It's kind of there. It's just iffy. My personal belief is that unless an officer sees a gun or sees a weapon that could cause them, harm right away, they shouldn't be shooting. That's my personal belief on that. You know what I mean? Because there's 8 officers there. So if the guy doesn't have a gun or if he's reaching for, I want to see this body camera footage now. Because I can only imagine. I can imagine that he's running. They're trying to tase him. He turns and he's like this in that motion. And then they shoot him saying he was reaching for something or whatever the case is. But there's got to be, I don't know. I'm not a cop. I can only assume that if someone does this, you know what I mean? Like, do you wait to see something? It's easy for me to say that. You know what I mean? It's easy for me to say it. But I'll be honest, if fucking 90 shots is quite a bit. That means that, how in the mags, if you have 8 officers, if it's 8 officers who fired guns and they shot whatever it was, he's got 60 wounds on him. It doesn't even matter how long that shooting lasts. Shit. Someone said, well, the officer who was killed in Alabama this week was fleeing and shot and killed the cop. Again, but you understand what I'm saying there. That's a tricky scenario. You know what I mean? That's a tricky scenario. If the person doesn't, unless you visibly see a gun, I don't think you should be shooting. You know what I mean? I don't know. Someone said, the guy fleeing shot and killed the officer. Yeah, but it's a different thing. Do you know what I mean? It's different. And there's so much, the guy could have literally been like, I'm going to kill you. And then like motion like he had a gun. At that point, you shoot him. But if the guy's pursuing you or you're pursuing them and you've definitely got numbers with your squad, right? You're not drinking donut shop coffee. I was so tempted to make like a police car and parked in front of a donut shop for the picture on the donut shop coffee blend. I was so tempted to do it, but I decided not to because we have such a big police audience. I decided not to. I've been going pretty hard lately on the fire versus police thing. My son the other day, he said, we were talking about going to the fire versus police hockey thing years ago when I was on the fire department in Manchester, New Hampshire. And it was like all the state firefighters versus the state police, and like all the, that's what it was for the state of New Hampshire. And this little son of a gun was rooting for the cops, and his dad's a firefighter. And we were talking about that and joking about that because he's always wanted to go back because he's a huge hockey fan. And I said, we can't. But that time I almost got in trouble too because I almost beat up 2 cops because they were sitting there cursing. I curse in front of my kids. Grown-ass men don't curse in front of my kids unless it's me. You know what I mean? So we were walking into the Manchester Stadium or whatever the hell it's called, and these 2 cops, they were half in the bag, and they're sitting there, F this and F that, talking about girls in suggestive ways and shit. And I'm like, and I turned to him and I'm like, hey, I'm walking with my kid. And they're like, and I was like, oh, go to the sidewalk. And then by the time nothing happened because there were a ton of other firefighters there. But yeah, it's crazy stuff. It's crazy stuff. What else? Someone said you should be able to fist fight cops legally. No, you shouldn't be able to fist fight anybody legally. It should be a crime. You know what I mean? But a lot of states have mutual combat laws. So like if you want to square up with someone, they're not going to charge, or they charge both. I don't know how that works. I've never been the subject of a mutual combat thing. Because typically whenever I've actually had to use like physical force to stop someone, I was working. I was either doing security or even on the fire department. There's different scenarios where you had to use physical force. I had to restrain a cop once on a call where a guy hit a tree at 85 miles an hour and his leg came off and the cop went into shock halfway down the ravine as we're trying to carry the body up. Yeah. Yeah. He was like freaking out and he almost fell down the ravine. I had to go and grab him and drag him up to the top and be like, what the fuck? I was so mad, but whatever. That's something else. Another story. The problem is now it seems like the narrative is like we need to protect people resisting arrest as they were exercising their fundamental right. Yeah, I mean, I get that argument. I don't necessarily think that is the argument. I think if this kid, it sucks to say it, if this kid was, like it literally says in this article, 7 of the 8 officers were white, Walker is black. If we stop making every single little possible thing in this country about race, then we'd be so much better off. But we just can't. All right? We're not built that way. Everything that we have to do, everything that we talk about, or anything that we have to apply some sort of racial parameter to it. You know what I mean? To be outraged about something, it has to involve race. Because unfortunately, if this kid was a white kid, the scenario wouldn't have changed. Likely if a white kid was fleeing from cops and shooting at him from the road and he gets out and he goes and he makes a suggestive movement and cops think he has a gun on him, I mean, it wouldn't be national news. We wouldn't hear it. Akron, Ohio wouldn't be bracing for riots or anything like that. It just wouldn't happen. And every single person in this chat knows that. Those are not the lives that matter. That's why, and it's funny because all the people that are like, Black Lives Matter, and get really, really bent when someone says all lives matter, those are the people that are like the most closed-minded out of everybody. Hold on one second. I gotta fix something. They're the most closed-minded out of everybody because they're like, no, they're insinuating that other people are racist while literally exhibiting, racist behavior, themselves, which is just, it's really weird. It's quite perplexing, but not really. It's perplexing, yet not really that perplexing. Does that make sense? See, I'm fucking really good at multitasking. I know you guys are super enthralled by my multitasking abilities. Is Martha still here? Do we need a... Fuck me. See, I just fucked it up. God damn it, Martha. Here, you know what I'll do? I'll play commercials for a minute and a half. I just got to get it so it doesn't end the live stream real quick because I'm talking more than I thought I would.
I work for a federal agency. I've been doing this job for over 23 years. When I come home from work, what's rewarding to me is that I know that I'm out there serving and protecting the citizens of the United States. My job can be dangerous. There's conflict, aggression, and sometimes life-threatening situations. On June 12th, 2018, I was patrolling near a mountain range and I heard a noise in the gravel. I turned and I saw 2 muzzle flashes. It was clear it was an ambush. I was shot 6 times. Getting shot feels like 1,000 needles penetrating your body. I felt immense heat, and then later the pain kicked in and I had to do everything I could to save my own life. I survived because I was wearing my body armor. If not, my wife would be a widow and my daughter wouldn't have a father. Spartan armor saved my life.
Finding the right CBD product for you can be tough. Just CBD has you covered. We offer the highest quality, most consistent CBD gummies on the market with soothing 100% organic CBD in every mouth-watering gummy. All of our products are lab certified and made in the United States using organically grown hemp. Each of our gummies gives you between 8 and 25 milligrams of soothing CBD. Enjoy all the benefits of CBD in our amazing line of gummies with Just CBD.
All right. We're back. I got that all situated, so we're good. Apparently, President Biden is just doing more to divide America, I mean, can you imagine that? Biden is apparently warning now. He was on a conference call with Democratic governors from 9 states, including New York, Illinois, and Oregon, who have all committed to protecting abortion rights, that Republicans will seek a nationwide abortion ban if they win the majority in November, and said that states already have restrictions in place, would try to arrest women who seek care elsewhere, which is not true. In fact, that's not even been the only people that are presenting that kind of shit are Democrats. You know what I mean? Yes, there are states that had laws on the books already that as soon as Roe versus Wade was overturned, it banned abortion in their states because that's what voters did. It wasn't just policymakers or politicians. No, voters put them into office. You know what I mean? Nobody really understands that. I don't think they do. But Biden is now trying to fearmonger, and make no mistake, like Biden doesn't give a shit about abortions either. He doesn't care about it. The only reason why they're focusing on it so much is because 60% of America is kind of on the fence about abortions. I wouldn't say, they always say 60% of Americans believe that, abortions are a right. No, they don't. 60% of Americans are on the fence because you got a lot of people, that believe or that, rape, incest, death to the mom and death to the baby, that those are those trump, any sort of feeling that someone shouldn't get an abortion. Does that make sense? Because that's where I'm at. I'm like on this weird fucking line, to be completely honest. Because like part of me thinks about it from like my sister or something like that, or if I had a daughter. If my daughter was assaulted, if there was incest, or there was, or my daughter was going to die or something like that, giving birth, then I would want to save my daughter. But again, that's not what this abortion debate seemingly is about right now. This abortion debate is about whether or not people are allowed to kill the person that's growing inside them because they want to go to the bar on Saturday night. Or they kill the person that's growing inside them because they're not responsible enough, or not financially able, or financially able but not responsible enough to parent the child that they built, they created. Do you know what I mean? So it's crazy. The whole thing it's one of the most divisive yet straightforward things that you could possibly imagine. Because if you talk to people about, because for example, I know liberals that are against abortion. You know what I mean? So to say it's a conservative issue is complete and utter bullshit. The liberals are more on the side that I just described, where under extreme circumstances, then they can understand. It's not that they agree with it. It's not that I agree with abortion. I just think if for example, if my wife found out, if she got pregnant again and found out that having that baby would lead her to die, I'll be honest with you, it wouldn't even be a fucking question. That baby stays. No, my wife, she's my best friend. Do you know what I mean? It would suck. We would cry. But my wife is my best friend. I would do anything to protect her. You know what I mean? And a lot of people, I understand. A lot of people can't understand it because then you got religion that goes in, and you got all this other stuff that goes into it that plays all that. Luckily, I don't have the religion, so for me, it's not. I believe in God, but I'm not super religious, so it's not as cut and dry for me. But when you put it from that perspective, or when I think, and that's how I tend to think of things. I try to make it personal so that way I can relate, especially on things I can't relate. I'm a dude. I can't have an abortion. Democrats say I can, but in all reality, I cannot. I'm a man. I have, chromosomes in my body that will prevent that from ever fucking happening. So I can't really say what's right or wrong about the scenario, other than the fact that the baby is growing. It's alive. If I heard it, I heard my son's heartbeat, both of the son's heartbeats. Nobody could tell me it's not alive. You know what I mean? Nobody could tell me it's not a fucking living, breathing thing. Well, no, it's not breathing, but yeah, well, it is breathing. But you know what I'm saying? And I think a lot of people are just so, I think, what Democrats are doing, and some Republicans, they're politicizing this to such an extreme. There's some Republicans out there that even when they're talking, I'm like, shut the fuck up. Like, listen, I agree with you for the most part, but stop. Because you're saying shit that's like super outlandish and on the far right fringes of the abortion aspect. And then people on the left are like, no, we should be able to kill the baby that's growing inside us up until, birth. People are evil people. You know what I mean? And that's the way I believe. All these women that were standing out here, and I know we got a lot of local viewers now. All the women that were standing out here the other day, holding signs with the coat hangers and the blood and yelling, it's your choice to kill the babies that are growing inside you. You are all awful, evil people. Now, the one mother that came up and was talking about the fact that her daughter, was going to give birth to a baby that had very, very, almost zero viability of surviving, according to multiple doctors. I understand that. I can't say, because if I was faced with that decision and the mom's not at risk, I would say, no, fuck, we have that kid. We have that kid because God brings people back from comas and all that stuff. Do you know what I mean? But you know what I mean? Because you wouldn't abort it. You know what I mean? Because if it's got a heartbeat, then it's alive. Even if you know that there's a chance it's going to die when it comes out, you still have to. You have to try that. But I don't know. It's really crazy when you think about it. It's and someone said, dang, protesting outside your shop. I don't mind it. I don't, because here's the thing. I'm a staunch First Amendment supporter. I don't agree with anything they were chanting the other day, but I support their right to be out there protesting. I would defend their right to be out there protesting. If some other people got aggressive and got violent towards, I would defend them, even though I don't like the thing. It's like morally repugnant on what they're out there preaching. And yes, I pass judgment on every single fucking person. I wanted to take mental photographs of all of them, so when they come in for the free coffee, I get to say, get the fuck out. You know what I mean? Because those are, and not that I would do that, but you know what I mean? It's that disgusting. I asked my wife the other day at dinner. She got so fucking mad at me. She's like sitting up her fucking green salad. I'm like, why don't you give that to the bunnies? Why are you eating that? And again, my brain never shuts off from work. So I asked her the same question that we were talking about. I asked her the same question that I mentioned before. What's the difference between a healthy woman who has a healthy baby inside that's growing, that decides she doesn't want to carry that baby anymore and executes it by having an abortion, and the guy that walks up and shoots some little child in the head? What is the difference? Because to me, there isn't one. Do you know what I mean? There isn't. You could argue, you could make an argument in saying, well, if and see, this is where like when you say it, like nothing is cut and dry, like with the woman that was talking about her daughter who had to make that hard decision at 5 months because multiple physicians were telling her that the baby was going to die. As soon as it was born, it was going to die. It had holes in the heart and all that stuff. That's a decision that they have to make. And I understand you can go and say, well, we would outlaw that. And how do you do carve-outs in the law to support that? I mean, wouldn't it be easy? But no, because you couldn't even make a carve-out and say, well, if the baby has a less than 10% likelihood, because there's been people in comas for 35, 40 years that wake up suddenly and you know what's going on. And they're like, well, hey, what's up? I just couldn't talk for 40 years. I'm really tired of laying down. Can I go for a walk or something? You know what I mean? And it happens, and people can look it up. It's real. And it's God. There's no other descriptor for it. There's people that like have no brain activity whatsoever. And then all of a sudden, boom, they're back together. They have, full faculties. There's people that died on hospital beds and were brought back, or died themselves and came back to life. It's weird. It's weird, but just like someone said, not your average guy on Twitch, I believe you said there's zero difference between a baby being killed by the mother who's carrying said baby and a guy that goes out and shoots a child in the head. There is no difference. I agree with you. There is no difference. But if you want to look and try to make it so it's on the same level, you could look and say, okay, well, a mother has to make a hard decision about her child who has no viability, right? Where there's a 99% chance that baby is going to die immediately at birth, versus someone who has stage 4 cancer and is in chronic pain and is just begging to have their life ended. You know what I mean? You could kind of make that argument as well. I mean, not. See, I'm trying to be a pragmatic or something. I have no, because you can't even make that decision. It's not your job to rid. But people do make that. I believe there's laws, assisted suicide. Some states allow that. I believe. I don't know. I could be out of my mind, right? But you know what I mean? It's hard. Someone said a dear friend of yours was in a coma after being hit by a car with only 2% chance of life. Doctors had no hope. She woke up and had a few issues, but otherwise okay. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? So you can't. And I said that to that woman too. I said people, and she's like, I'm like, and then her husband came to try to stop her from talking. It's really bad though, because I was out there with a camera. I wasn't saying anything. I was just out there with a camera filming them, I look as journalistic, and I know what it was. I'm wearing a Spartan Armor shirt that says "Protect What's Yours." I got "We the People" tattooed on my arm, and I'm a big 300-pound, scary-looking fucking dude. And then it's all women, and so of course, as I walk around with the camera and I'm looking at it, and I'll be honest, I heard some of the chants and shit, and I was probably making physical, faces of disgust, as I like to say, because I can't hear people chanting about killing babies. I just can't do it, or trying to justify it. For the life of me, I can't get on that path for it to make sense. Do you know what I mean? So it's just weird. It's just everything's weird. It is just what it is. And can anyone be grim enough but honest to tell me what the shelf life is on the unborn baby once it's born? What the fuck are you talking about? No, nobody knows. If you're talking about a baby that's sick, nobody knows. That's a thing. You kind of leave it up to God at that point. You know what I mean? Someone else said we made 3 chips to children's hospitals in Birmingham, Alabama, 3 hours away from us once a week for them to check his heart and his brain to make sure fluid wasn't going on his brain. And someone said that woman's husband was terrified she cashed a check she couldn't cover. Yeah. We're having a good conversation. She didn't want to be on camera for it. You can hear in the video that I put out when I did the news broadcast, you can hear her come up. She's like, "Are you with the news?" And I said, "Yes." And she's like, "Which outlet?" Citizen Stringer News. Oh. Well, and then I turned off the camera, told her it was off. She's like, "Are you going to paint us in a good light?" No, that's not my job. I'm not going to paint you in a good light. I don't paint people in a good light either. I show what's really going on. If you want to be painted in a good light, how about you act like you deserve to be in a good light? Like act like, the way those women were acting out there was not, it wasn't good, At first it was. And then there was one guy, a counter protester, but then they're chanting like "fuck your God" and shit like that to people. And I'm like, you know what I mean? Any bit of like, hey, they have the right to freedom of speech. Like you say, "Fuck my God." I'm not defending your right to speak freely anymore. I'll be honest with you. I'll be honest. I may do my best to make sure you can't do that anymore. You know what I mean? But I don't know. It's weird. It's still a First Amendment, whether or not you like it. It's the First Amendment. And they have the right to say what they want, as repulsive and disgusting as it may be. And you must, even if you dislike it, you must protect that right. And if you don't, you're doing the same exact thing the Democrats are doing. Just to put that into perspective. If you say no, that what they're saying shouldn't be protected, then you're doing exactly what Democrats are doing when people are waving the American flag. Yeah. When people wave the American flag now, it's considered, violent and extreme, which is just nutty. It's just completely crazy. Jersey Devil said, "Inside the Mind of Joe Biden, blank pages." Yeah, you like that? So for anyone just tuning in, I wrote a book. It's very quick. It took me about 15 minutes. I'm dead ass. You can look it up on Amazon right now. It's for sale. Title of it's called "Inside the Mind of Joe Biden." We use the latest scientific data to analyze everything Joe Biden's done in his 79 million years of living. And we found out that there's literally nothing going on in his brains. So the pages of my book are as empty as Joe Biden's promises. Yeah. And they published it. I don't know why they published it, but I'm excited. I bought a shit ton of them. I'm going to sign them and give them away. I was telling my wife I may have to go on a nationwide book selling tour or book signing tour. like, I don't care. I mean, that should be a bestseller because you're going to open it up and you're going to be like, yep, he hit the nail on the head. Amazing. I want the reviews. I want you guys to leave reviews when you get the books too. And there's a special dedication in the front of the book for all the eaters. And you're only going to be able to get it if you pay the $15 for the book. You got to use the code or not. There's no code. You just do that $15 and then you'll get the book and it's got a special dedication to all the eaters. But yeah, as I stated before on Pure Truth Coffee, we have 2 new coffee blends. We got Sleepy Joe Biden or Sleepy Joe, which is a decaffeinated blend. I'm only carrying it for a limited time. I ordered 50 pounds. If you want a bag, it's actually really, really good coffee. It's just decaffeinated. They use a Swiss water method. I learned that today. The Swiss water method to decaffeinate it while keeping all the aromas and flavors still right up in there. Right up in there. But yeah, $17.99 for a pound. It's a pre-order, so we'll ship it out on July 21st. But yeah, you should check that out. We also did the donut shop. Here's what I would say the donut shop is. It's kind of a cross between our Wake Up America blend and the Awake Not Woke. When I got the sample, that's where I kind of put it. It would be like if you took the beans from Awake Not Woke and the beans from the Wake Up America blend and kind of blended them together. That's what it is, except it's a little bit darker. It's like a medium, maybe medium to dark roast. I think it's a medium roast. But yeah, did I put 3 up? I don't know. Because in all reality, we're going to have about 12 blends. Right now, I don't have them all up there. Let me see. No, so we have 10 up right now. So we have Wake Up America, Flying High, Pardon My French, Awake Not Woke, French Vanilla, Harlem's Finest, Victory or Death, which is really good. That's a dark roast. The Firehouse blend, which you can't buy. But I encourage all you guys to check on that and read that. So if you go to Pure Truth Coffee, look at the Firehouse blend. Because what we're doing there is we're supplying firehouses across the United States. Well, first, starting in Virginia, the goal is across the United States when we franchise this thing. This is how it's going to work, all right? I'll stop. The reason why I have to go and deal with Pure Truth Coffee full-time is because of the goals that I have. I said that I wanted to open additional coffee shops. I will be opening additional coffee shops. I said that we're not, like this store, we're only doing like cups of coffee. I'm not doing anything fancy. But I'll be honest, the trailer that we have, that I'm going to build a coffee trailer, that may be different. We may make lattes. We're still going to give them away for free. I know. Yeah, people are like, how are you going to do this, Steve? Trust me, there's method to my madness. Method of the madness. Because the goal is we put a cap. So like if 2 people come in for a coffee, nope, only one of you guys gets a coffee. No, I'm just kidding. And then our other blends are the Sleepy Joe. Can I show this? Do I have this plugged in? Let me see. Nope. Let me see. Does it show? Oh, look at that. So that's the Sleepy Joe right there, the new blend. And that's the donut shop right next to it. So this is on puretruthcoffee.com. So over here, that's a Firehouse. That's a Victory or Death. I'm going to be switching everything. So all the labels are going to look the same, all the pictures. But yeah, that's a Sleepy Joe decaffeinated coffee right there. Pretty awesome. I'm pretty happy with it. So, latte, Steve. Yeah. So because we can't go to the Trump rallies anymore, I needed to figure out what to do with this trailer that I bought. So I'm going to build out a, portable coffee trailer, just kind of like I wanted with the concession trailer, but now we don't have that. Now we have this big 20-footer because originally the reason I bought it, I wanted to put a concession side on the back and then a studio in the front. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to build out a coffee shop essentially, and it's going to be dope as fuck. You know what I mean? And, I may have lined up financing for some of the equipment, not all. I can't get approved for all that financing, but yeah, so it's cool. Someone said, how about an old-fashioned barbershop connected first? See, I have no idea what you're talking about, but FGHDGH1000 said, hey, Steve, keep up the good work. Will do, buddy. I'm trying. Someone said free paninis. All right, ban that person. But ban Ron G for asking for free paninis. I'm just kidding. Don't ban him. But yeah, it's I have a lot of coffee. So if you've been waiting to get coffee, use code I'm going to sneeze. Use code coffee and get yourself 10% off on everything. Just please don't use a code if you're doing the subscribe and save. I think that's a glitch in there. It's letting you do it. But yeah, go buy coffee. The Wake Up America blend I packaged today. I didn't get it sent, but I packaged that up today, and then I ran out of bags. So I have another 100 pounds of coffee that I'm going to come in and package in the morning, and then it's going to be, shipped out. Hopefully I can get a lot of the orders done in the morning and ship those out. But place your coffee orders now. We need you guys to do it. Like if you want me to keep doing new roasts and make all new clothes and new hats and new shirts and all sorts of good new mugs, we're going to start carrying like French presses, some different coffee makers, like custom stuff. It's going to be a little bit more higher quality. A lot of the shirts like that we used to get, that the ones that I didn't print, but the ones from Pure Truth Coffee that we're using drop printers to do, the quality sucks. Like that's one of the Yeeter ones. And it like after getting washed like 20 times, you can't even read it anymore. So what I'm doing is I'm trying to essentially stockpile as much money as I can, buy all the equipment. So that way, when you place an order for a shirt, I basically take the shirt blank out, boom, take the thing, boom, print it, boom, send it out with your coffee order right away. All of our coffee orders are likely going to start coming with a mug and stuff too. Not now, in a month or two when we switch everything around. But it's going to be great. But yeah, Steve gets denied press passes all the time. Yeah, that's why I'm not going to the Trump rallies anymore. Granted, the next one's in Alaska, but there's no reason for me to try, and now that they're doing this vendor crackdown, so they're not even allowing vendors to go in. And, I was the first vendor that was kicked out in Illinois last Saturday. I'm not driving. You know how much money we lost last Saturday? So much freaking money. Pulling a motor or, driving the motorhome, pulling the trailer all the way to Illinois and back, 900 miles. We lost so much damn money that we couldn't really afford to lose, to be completely honest with you. And it is what it is. There's nothing we could do about it. Someone said, I absolutely love flying high. The best ever. Just wish it was whole bean. Well, here's the thing. Like, guys, if you really will buy the whole bean, I could start doing it. But the problem is I bought whole bean and no one bought it. And I am I'm different. Like, my wife is like, you're stupid for doing it. And I'm like, maybe. My coffee stays for 30 days or I toss it. Because I like coffee. I like fresh coffee. Like that Folgers shit, I can't drink it. Because I like the coffee to be roasted, grinded, and consumed in 30 days. So if we have beans that have a shelf life from, like, for example, like beans, if I had beans that were roasted in May, they're still good. I throw them out. That's just the way I do it, just because I like fresh beans. That's why all of our coffee is extremely fresh. We don't do any of that frozen packaged shit like some of these other YouTubers that have started their own coffee companies. They're just doing packaged, they're using these big distribution companies and saying they're doing it all themselves. No, we do it all ourselves, and we don't keep old coffee in stock. So, if people wanted whole bean, I could start on a lower quantity. We won't really have it in stock a lot, But if people want that, then I'll do it. But you got to buy it, Someone said, why are they banning sellers at Trump rallies? Isn't that freedom to do if you're permitted? No, they want. I don't know. The only thing I can assume, because this was the first time it happened, where they were cracking down on vendors, is that particular rally point didn't allow it. That fairgrounds didn't allow outside vendors, because I did talk to a lot of the vendors that were there setting up the morning that I was there. They were all local. They all said, oh, like we talked to this guy and this guy and this guy, local, And so I got a feeling that they took that over, and that's why a lot of the vendors. But you're not going to want to mess that up. Someone said, I had a coffee bag the other day. It was the worst coffee I ever tasted. Whose coffee was that? Someone said, I put mine in the freezer and they're good when they come. Yes, whole bean. Yeah. Kathy ordered 25 pounds of French roast. That was really good. I mean, I got a shit ton of coffee. Like, if you guys truly, truly want to help and keep us going and allow us to keep building up. If I sold out of all the coffee tonight, that would do it. That would mean that we have the freedom to or I have the freedom to relax a little bit and just focus on building this coffee brand so it's the next best, biggest, best thing. Because here's the thing. I would say we're a conservative company. We're definitely not a Republican company because I'm not a Republican anymore. I'm a conservative, but I'm not a Republican. I'm certainly not a fucking liberal. But, I want to keep the coffee as American as possible. You know what I mean? I want to keep the coffee branding and everything as American as possible. I don't want to have a ton of right-leaning terms or like the sleepy Joe Biden. That's why it's limited, because we're going to sell it because all my viewers have been asking me to do it forever, and then I'm done. And we won't carry it anymore. And I'll carry a decaf. If it sells, I'll just rename it, call it something else. Someone said it's a tea bag, but it's a coffee bag. Ew. Wait, so you put it in? Wait. I think you did that wrong. Don't they do that in hotels where it's a little like bag? I think so. I don't know. But hopefully, a lot of you guys go to the store. Like I say it a lot. A lot of you guys bought coffee already. Buy more. Do what Kathy did. Put it in your freezer. Just buy up as much coffee as you can. If it says it's available, just keep buying. Use code coffee. You get 10% off. It's a fucking great deal. Because in all reality, we need to sell the coffee. It's all fresh. It was all roasted this week, or the latest was the 19th or the 21st of June. So because they roasted on two different names. Someone said, name the decaf Sleepy Joe. Where have you been, sir? Where have you been, sir? We already did. Right there. Oh, shit. What happened? This is on puretruthcoffee.com. Sleepy Joe. These are all the blends we have. Harlem's Finest, where we donate all the proceeds, which is probably why we have no money. I should really stop doing charity shit, but whatever. Victory or Death, which is a dark coffee. It's really good. French Vanilla. I don't like flavored coffee, but that everyone likes that. That's probably our third best seller. Of course, Awake Not Woke is the number one seller. And then the Wake Up America blend. And I would say the Wake Up America and Flying High are kind of tied for like the number one bestseller. The Wake Up America, I can't keep the fucking shit in stock, and I don't pay attention enough to the names that are ordering it, but I can only assume that it's people that are buying it every time in bulk. Every now and then, like I think one day I got a like six bag order of that, and it is what it is. But hopefully a lot of you guys are doing it. Larry, I forgot to give you a shout out the other day for your Cash Apps, man. Thank you so much. What time is it? 5:50. My wife asked me. Oh, she's like, do you want to drive 35 miles and meet us for dinner? No, I don't. Let's go home and eat. You should donate the beans you use as a write-off for the business before you toss. No. If I'm not going to sell them, I'm not even going to give them away. Here's the thing. If you properly make the cup of coffee, it is the best cup of coffee you've had. And I'm not just saying that because I own the company. I'm saying it's the truth. We ran out of Awake Not Woke, and I didn't want to come here, so I went to like Starbucks, or I went somewhere and I bought a Starbucks bag of coffee. My coffee kicks the shit out of Starbucks. No joke. On a taste test, it's so good. You can taste it. Like the other day, so we were doing a taste test with a different roaster, because that's what so all of these brands are not going to switch. But when we add new coffee, that's with the new roaster. They have higher minimums. That's why you'll see 50-pound increments. Anyway, but all these, the Wake Up America, Flying High, pardon my French, they have to be with the same roaster because they're just really, really good blends. I tested. This is what my wife did. She got super meticulous about it because I wanted to compare a breakfast blend against our Wake Up America, which is our breakfast blend. So I wanted to test these two different ones. So my wife literally measured out a spoonful of sugar in each one, the same amount of milk in each one, and we tasted it. And she's like, yeah, it's a little bit more acidity. It has a little bit more acidity to it. I tasted it, and I'm like, what the hell is that? She's like, that's theirs. And I'm like, oh. And I drank mine. I just chugged it. I was like, yeah, no, my coffee's way better. I'm not selling that. And it's really good. So Josie said you ordered some. Can't wait. Yeah. Brad said Not much of a coffee drinker, but I may buy some tonight. The blends look really good. Please do. Please do. Buy one of it. Here's the thing. You can give them away. Give them away. You know what I mean? Give them away. I'll tell you what, man. Tell you what. Nah, I won't do that. I was almost going to say I'll include one of my books, but I don't have them yet. I'm not getting them till Wednesday. Probably. I ordered 40 so I can give them away. Sign them and give them away to people. You know, but they'll be mysterious. And I want a lot. Someone said I make my own cold brew. Good for you, dude. Someone said I was wasting coffee with a coffee pot, so I just use single serve machine, but I still use my own coffee. There you go. Awake Not Woke is an awesome name. It is, right? And Flying High is very good too. Flying High is like caffeine. But then I was talking to someone else and they were like, it didn't have like, it didn't seem, they didn't get a jolt. And I'm like, well, how much caffeine do you consume over a day, Brad? And he's like, well, so normally I have a couple of cups of coffee, a couple of Monsters, a couple of sodas, a couple of this. And I'm like, bro, you have like, if you didn't consume all that caffeine and you drank a Flying High, it would probably get you. After work, we'll be ordering dark roast, a Fark roast, and a few books. Nice. Thank you. Someone said I make 1 cup in my auto drip pot. Yes, we're going to start selling. There's all sorts of things like the, what do you call it? I forgot. We're going to have a bunch of stuff I'm going to be able to personalize. With these, the mug printers and the specialty printers that I have, I can actually do a lot more. So we'll do a lot. Someone said you need to sell cold brew. I can do with the new roaster. I can do cold brew, but I don't know anything about it. So, someone said I drink a minimum of 1 pot a day, most days 2 pots of coffee. April. I'm good after 3 cups. I can't do more than 3 cups in a day. Normally it's 2.5, and then I'm just done. But I say that, but I drink soda like fucking crazy. But I have this new thing. I'm brushing my teeth like 17 times a day because my kids just went. I have bad teeth. I don't know if any of you guys have noticed. I'm missing a shit ton of teeth on the bottom and on the top. So like this whole side is all fake on the top. And they wanted to do implants, but we had to wait till something. So till the bone density got bigger in the jaw to do the implants for the bottom. And they gave me like a denture thing to wear, like a partial, because these are my teeth. And I can't wear it. I don't wear it. But my kid just got back from the dentist, and he's got to go to a specialist because he's got my teeth, just awful fucking teeth. No matter how much you brush, no matter how much you floss, nothing. There's like no enamel. You know, that's essentially what it is. Like every year, I essentially get all new veneers on my teeth. There's nothing I can do, but it's just. I think the next time I'm getting the next time I go, I'm getting the implants in the back, and they'll crown and do that with whatever they do on the teeth down there, and then I'll get it. Because the other day I was eating fucking toast and it cut my gums. Because again, there's no teeth on the bottom here, you know. So if you just catch something sharp, it fucking gets you. But and the other one's got to go see an orthodontist. He's like, I don't want braces, and I'm like, tough. Someone said, I love the smell of coffee. You worked for years in a coffee shop. Yes. You can make your own pods. That's what I do. Yeah, I'm trying to find out where I could buy them in bulk so I can include them. Because we're going to have a coffee club. Well, we do have a coffee club already. That's on Pure Truth Coffee. It's new. I just created it yesterday, where you can get 2 bags delivered every 2 weeks, 2 bags delivered every month, 3 bags delivered every month, and you choose your coffee blends up to a certain point because it doesn't allow you. I got to figure out a different method for doing it because it only allows 100 variations. And when you start adding the third choice, it makes like 180 variations. But I'm going to make one as well, which is going to be like, I don't know, the PTCC Coffee Club, Mega Coffee Club. And that's going to be like a specialty coffee mug and all that stuff. But I'll throw a bunch of the Trump stickers in every order that comes in today. So you guys will get a bunch of the stickers that go out. And when I ship them out this weekend, all the Patriot boxes from politicallyincorrectstore.com, those will all go out this weekend as well. You'll either get shipping notice over the weekend, or you'll get it on Monday or Tuesday, because Monday's a holiday. And the post office is fucking closed. Which means the banks are too. Damn it. For a long time, I didn't worry about it. I didn't worry about bank accounts or anything. Now I have to. And maybe that's why. Maybe I need to now. And if anyone has a black cargo van, like an F1 or E150 or E250, let me know. Okay. Like, let me have it for free or something, because I want to make that. So when I'm delivering to the firehouses, I could put like Pure Truth coffee. It's great advertising. Otherwise, I'm going to end up having to lease one, which I don't really want to do. But they approved me today, and I'm like, I'm going to wait just in case. Anyway, I think I talked way longer than I thought I was going to be completely honest with you, which is very impressive if I do say so myself. But yeah, I appreciate all of you guys for watching. I sincerely beg you, go to puretruthcoffee.com, buy out all the stores, go to Amazon, buy the book, Inside the Mind of Joseph Biden. It's sure to get you. And there's a special page for all the eaters in there too. All right, guys, I'll see you unless we have riots. I will see you on Monday. All right, or no, Tuesday. Monday's a holiday, so I won't be live Monday either. But if there are riots this weekend, we'll be in to cover them because, well, that's what the news does and nobody else does it. All righty.